Pisces Ascendant, Pisces Rising. Welcome to your December/January 2020/2021 video. Energies, the frequencies of what's going to be occurring. Solar eclipse mid-December. And then we're also going to spend time going a little bit deeper into the January energies. There's a lot of major things occurring, but they do begin mid-December. See through all the cloud and the illusions and get down to the nitty-gritty, the celestial events that are happening, the power, the energies, the emanations, the radiations of the divine celestial beings and the downloads, the powerful downloads that'll be coming through. 2021 preview. Ready? Let's go, Pisces. I'm always excited about doing your videos because there's so much of me that is you and so much of you that is me. And I know you get it. I know you understand it. Comment below, #WeAreOne. What I do to you, I do to myself. And what I do to myself, I do to you. The understanding that there is this invisible connectivity, this divine essence that exists in all beings and things. The source, the point of creation created everything that we can see or not see, right? It's created astrology. It's created the planets. It's given the planets the ability to radiate a certain feeling, a quality, a characteristic, a personality. So when we understand all of that, and we understand those local placements in the sky and the timing and the cycles, we then start to really feel deep feeling, a deep resonation. Then I understand why I said what I said when I said it. Knowing there is this outer influence, these inclinations that these things give us, these impressions, and knowing those impressions in advance, knowing the inclinations that we're going to be under, help us to then navigate these waters. End of November, you had an eclipse. Attach the December video below because it gives you the chart and it gives you the breakdown. And it doesn't mean you got to go watch the whole thing, but there will be in-depth things, right? Like you can see the lines, you can see the angles, you can hear other words and other meanings that are used to better understand the global effect of what eclipses do. I'm here to say if you don't have a chart, I'm going to help you. Now, if you want a chart, just comment your digits below. Just go right on ahead. Every subscriber of Allastrology gets a free chart, and it's a correct chart. Not every chart that you get is going to be correct. And I have found this out time and time again from people who come to me, who come to Allastrology and say, hey, I'm confused, which means you could be holding a chart in your hand that doesn't have your right rising sign. And that's important. If you're interested in something like that, just go ahead and comment to me. Give me your birth digits. If you're not comfortable with putting a lot of your stuff there in the comment section, then at least say, hey, gee, I'm interested in that. How can I further get in touch with you so that we can arrange that? I will make sure that you get a chart in your hands with an accurate rising sign. Your Gemini energy, okay? Gemini energy at 9 degrees. And so for Pisces Ascendant, Gemini energy at 9 degrees is typically in your 4th house. So 4th house means my home, my family, my emotions, my mother, nurturing, empathy, understanding, everything that comes to mind when you think of family and my tribe, being in a place where you feel comforted, being in a place where you are emotionally satisfied, because this is the moon, right? The moon is your 4th house, but we're mixing and weaving in the meaning of the sign of Gemini. But when we talk about the where in your life, this has to do with everything about your family. This is the where, because it's, again, 4th house placement. So an eclipse means change, right? A change is coming. There will be a change. For many, this means, am I moving home? You could be. Right? Am I letting go of where I used to live? You could be. Because when things occur in the home, it sometimes means there's a change in the home or sometimes a location change of the home. Now, the only way to know how big of an event it would be for you would have everything to do with whether you have something that matches the exact degree, the 9-degree thing. I know that's confusing and I know that's going a little far, but if you're interested, just comment, and that does not cost anything. When I say if you're interested, it's not saying, hey, you need to come up off of some moolah. I take quick free peeks. This is what I do for people who come here and watch the videos. It's my way of returning your time. It's called reciprocity. It is us saying, hey, I sat down, I watched your video, I'm listening, and I'm saying, thank you. I appreciate your time here. I appreciate your energy. I appreciate that exchange of value, right? And I am willing to pull that up for you to take a quick look and say, real quickly, this is what I see. These quick peeks, no charge, my gift to you. The change in the home could be something subtle, but typically if it's Gemini energy represents communication. Gemini is also sibling energy, but it's also sales and talking and networking. It's the way we think, right? The fourth house in our emotional foundation, our security, our emotional security is what the fourth house is. And the way we think, tying in our thoughts and the communications, how that all occurs in the home has everything to do with how we started establishing a sense of emotional security. And because it's in Gemini energy, it's fun. Gemini energy is all about talking, but there's something about the Gemini that likes to have a good time and wants to be able to relate and communicate with everybody, right? So it likes to feel like it's doing something that can either be fun or create laughter. And many times there's like this limerick or nursery rhymes or sing-songy or coming up with funny rhymes and rhythms. I don't want to say rapping, but it could be, if you're someone who has a lot of planets there, that intensifies the energy. Okay, and when we intensify the energy of something, it makes the experiences there stronger. And if you have stronger experiences, you'll have a stronger tendency. You'll have a stronger way of expressing that Gemini energy. And so Gemini energy it utilizes both sides of the brain, right? It's the feminine and the masculine. It's the left side and the right side of the brain. I think my candle just went out. We can't have a reading with a burnt out candle. I just smelled it. Okay. All right, we got our candle back. So understanding changes in the home, changes in the way you think. What you think has everything to do with how you speak, the thoughts you keep, the thoughts you hold, that which you reap, that which you sow, the connectivity of that, right? Beneficial communications, but not just for you, but for others in your life, especially family members. But realizing there may have to be boundaries and borders that you draw with people that you're physically close to, but it can be people who you are close to that aren't necessarily just blood relatives. The change could come to you in a way of changing the way you relate, changing the way you communicate with family members. All right, so that's that November 30th eclipse, okay? North node, which means it's where we're headed, okay? It is a full moon eclipse, which means there's usually an elevation of emotions. So remember, elevations of emotions in your home. Because it's that Gemini energy, it could be coworkers, siblings, people who are literally your next door neighbors, but people who are also your digital neighbors. This is a big thing for Gemini energy. I'm seeing and hearing and experiencing a lot of this with people because I'm online, obviously. And there's a lot of this, okay, I thought this person was my brother. I thought this person was my sister. I thought this person was my neighbor. And I thought we were gonna, because Gemini energy is very business orientated. It's the merchant, right? It's the barter. It's the trade. It's you do this for me, I do this for you. That's Gemini energy. And so think about how that works in the digital community, right? Think about that. For some of you out there, this may resonate very deeply. But a lunar north node it's a letting go, but it's a letting go to make room for the new, for your new, and it's establishing a sense of emotional security for your new. Now, when we move to the end of, or I should say the mid-December energy, this is, when I say mid-December, we're talking like December 14th, a new moon eclipse, all right? And this eclipse is 23 degrees of Sagittarius energy. So I'm going to look up your Sag energy. Your Sag energy is in your 10th house, Pisces ascendant, 10th house. 10th house is your ambition, your goals, but it's your professional goals, your professional ambition. Sagittarian energy is this beautiful, expansive, universal frequency energy. Like my goal is to somehow connect my truths, my philosophy on life with the greater whole. And the greater whole meaning the world, but beyond the world, beyond the earth. It is the cosmos. It's touching in with the universe in some way, shape, or form. Obviously, for every individual listening, those words mean something specifically different to each one of us. So for you, whatever that expansive thing is, however that is, like whatever is the biggest of the big that you can imagine in your mind, that is you trying to connect in with that. This is a new moon. It's a time of wishing. It's a time of prayer, a time of intention. So the new moon energy is at 10:17 a.m. And I'm in the US and I'm in the Central Standard Time Zone. So you have to adjust the time for where you live. And I'm giving out that time because typically the potency, the power, the hour of power is at the hour of the time, because that is a time when you've got the sun and the moon exactly on top of each other. And this is at 23 degrees. Okay. And that's at 10:17 a.m. Central Standard Time. So there's a belief you can write down your wishes, right? Like you focus on just like 10 wishes and you write them down, right? 10 intentions of things that you want to bring into your life, that which you want coming into your future. And what I love about this is when we say the word future, future is another word for Sagittarius energy. It has the ability to have this great foresight because it's expansive. It can step back. It can step way back and it can say, okay, I'm so far back. And because I'm this far back, I can see things that I couldn't see when I was really close up. When I'm really close up, I can only see the details, right? I can just see the itty bitty details. But once I back up, all of a sudden from back here, I can see the forest now. But when I get real close, I can only see the trees and I can only see like the roots of the trees. That's all I can see. I can't see the top of the tree. I can't see the birds that are up in the tree because I'm so close. But once we back up, we have the ability to see almost in the future. And we say in the future because we see the greater picture. We see more of the whole picture. And when we get a better view of the entire picture, we can then make more realistic wishes and intentions about our future. So when we have a new moon, it's making a wish, okay? But this is a beautiful new moon because it's setting an intention that has to do with your goals, your professional goals, your ambitions. Gee, I don't know what that is for me in my life. I'm lost when it comes to that. I don't know what is my absolute goal and my intention. It's confusing. And I'm going to tell you something. For some people's charts, it is confusing. Okay? Because many of us, it's not just one thing. It's a combination of things. We have many ambitions in our world, many ambitions of things that we want to do. So it's not going to be just one thing. And this is so true with this type of energy because Sagittarius energy is expansive. It says the more, the better. The more things, the better. The bigger, the better. So the more things it can put in under there, on its list, the better it is. It likes the idea of that, but it does want to go big. We'll talk about Sagittarius things. Having this in your 10th house, keywords for Sagittarius energy, right? So 10th house is your professional goals. But if it's Sagittarian energy, this means for your professional goals, you're going to think about their spirituality and religion. There's talking to God. There's traveling, but like getting in a plane and traveling, or getting in a car and having a long road trip traveling. There's foreign languages, foreign countries, foreign lands, foreigners, right? Maybe speaking a foreign language, traveling overseas. Jupiter/Sagittarian energy is all about, but I need to go over there to really discover who I am. I need to go over there because over there and weaving it in with who I am helps me to better understand who I am when I relate with that. There's this, I don't know how else to explain it other than we need to connect in with what's out there. For many folks, this is connecting in with source, with God, with mother, with spirit, with the creator, with Allah, whatever, Yahweh, whatever you call deity, whatever that is for you. And for many, they're like, well, I don't. I just call that the universe, right? So it's connecting in with something which has this ability, this power to be greater than who you are. That is more than who you are. This ambition and this goal, it's this drive, it's seeking, this constant seeking and this constant growing. What I love about this potentiality is the ability to elevate, to vertically elevate with this new moon. And I say a vertical elevation because this new moon is an eclipse, okay? But it's not just an eclipse. The galactic center, which is like at 27 degrees of Sagittarius energy. And the galactic center is considered the source, the point of source for the galaxy that we live in. Now, I know this sounds like just beyond what I can comprehend, more than what I can comprehend. And that's the whole point of elevating vertically. It is this expansiveness. It is downloads coming in, and it is the ability to wrap your mind around more than you can fathom. The ability to elevate vertically in a way that goes beyond your limitations. Be open. Be open to being more than you can be. And this is for you professionally because you have Sagittarius in your 10th house. So being open to more than you can be is understanding that your thoughts and your thinking of what your potentials are. As human beings, we are so much in our physical world, we get fixated on our limitations. Because let's be real, our physical bodies do pose limitations. It is limited, okay? But it is the limitlessness of that which we know not of, right? The limitlessness of source, the limitlessness of the universe, the limitlessness of something that was the beginning, the first step, the unmoved mover. The word was spoken and then it was. It is that limitlessness that goes beyond our understanding. So if you just leave a little bit of space in your mind and in your heart to be open to that which you know not and allow it to come through, you may receive information, you may hear something, you may have a dream, you may have a communication from somebody, you may have a desire, but just understand to expect the unexpected at this time, where there may be ideas, and these are dreams about the future, thoughts about the future. These are seeds that you want to sow, seeds you want to plant and nurture and grow, because it is your future, not only your emotional stability in your future, but your financial stability, your financial future. And it encompasses so much more than what you can fathom. Now let's move on to your January. Your January energies are going to be fascinating because at the same time of that December eclipse, we had Saturn and Jupiter going into the sign of Aquarium energy. So your Aquarium energy, we need to talk about this, okay? This is happening for everybody, but specifically for you, Pisces. Your Aquarius energy is over in your 12th house. And Aquarium energy, right, in your 12th house, this is the house of dreams, all right? 12th house is dreams, information coming through in my dreams, but it's group energy because it's Aquarian energy. So when I say Aquarian energy, it also represents not just friends, not just groups, but friends on the internet, groups, right? People on the internet, networking with those who are via the internet. But it's expansive, right? It's Aquarius energy, which is advancements for humanity. It's connecting in with those who are possibly from past lives or from a long time ago, whatever resonates more deeply with you. It's groups of people. Bottom line, you don't just connect in with others in a way where it's just one-on-one, but it's like this past life history with others or history with others, but not just one-on-one, it's groups of people. Like you've come into this time where there's a work you're doing with lots of souls. I know this might not feel good for some people to hear this, but this is coming down strongly right now. So I'm just going to tell you what I'm hearing. There is lots of energy. I'm hearing karmic. I'm hearing retribution. I'm hearing, there's a closure. There's a closure from the past energies starting in November. There's a completion from the past energies starting in November. But at the same time, at the beginning of mid-December going into January, it will feel tight. It will feel like there's a restriction from those that you've been dealing with. And so it might feel as though within all your friends that you have, the people that you've been like calling friends and the people that you've had in your life, there may be some limitations. There may be some like a cutoff whether you're initiating the cutoff or they're initiating it, there's almost this restriction that happens. You'll see the restrictions won't seem as heavy. You won't feel as stifled. You won't feel as locked into one place. You'll feel like you have a little bit more wiggle room. And this is okay because it's part of the process for you. So just understand that that's going to be there, and have some patience over the situation. Realizing this helps, okay? This tidbit right here. Everybody, regardless of their rising sign, will feel this same sort of restriction in their world, in their life. We're all going to feel this. It just comes down to where we feel it in our life, okay? So there's going to be another location in your life where you're going to feel another restriction on your physical body of, oh, you're telling me I can't go there, I can't do this, or if I do go there or I do this, I have to do it in this certain way. Okay, so I'm going to look up your Mars energy, all right? And so for Mars going into the sign of Taurus, okay, this is in your third house. So Mars going into Taurus in your third house, what's going to happen is when we hit January 5th, right? January 4th, January 5th, you might feel this really strongly, because if you have planets at either of these degrees, you know, we're talking Mars is like at 0 degrees, right? Because it just enters Taurus energy then. But Taurus energy is fixed energy. And being fixed earth, it squares fixed air. And fixed air is the Aquarius energy that Jupiter and Saturn are in. Okay, so this is your 12th house, which is your dreams, which is your relationships from past lives, which is people who are in your current life, but are kind of like behind the scenes, people in authority who are behind the scenes. And the best way to describe behind the scenes authority is you're at a job and there's a boss, but you don't ever have contact with that boss. You know, like there's a manager, there's a supervisor, there's the corporate dude, then there's the, you know, the executive so-and-so, then there's the CEO, right? Like there's some of those people, the higher ups, you never ever meet, but they call the shots, right? When the shots are called, it trickles down, and then you get, you know, somebody says, hey, these are the rules, and then we have to follow them. And so understanding the rules and the restrictions coming in are people who are in authority, and then coming in through the third house's communication. Right? This is where your Mars energy is. So restrictions on communication, and it could be internet, it could be, you know, that social media stuff, but because it's your Taurus energy, it could affect something you value. And when I say something you value, it could affect your money. If you're doing stuff online, there could be a slowdown. There could be a decrease. There could be a restriction because you have Taurus in your third house. And so if you're doing sales through social media, if you're selling something, or if you're a telemarketer, or, you know, like nowadays having, when I say digital, when I say networking, there could be a million different ways, but it's Taurus energy. So it's values, it's your income, it's also people you value. So there may be a restriction put on that. Okay. And that restriction, it runs kind of tightly for the month of January. I'm just going to keep it real. First 2 full weeks of January, it feels really strongly. And understanding that once Mars pulls away, it's going to dissipate. It's going to lessen. It's not going to feel as difficult. But understanding that that friction that may be there will help you to navigate intelligently through your December and through your January. And as time goes on, it'll feel better. Because once Mars gets away, there's some good that comes, right? Because Jupiter will be transiting through through the Aquarius, through the Uranian energy. So likely we will have people who are our first responders, but people who are our frontline workers who will more than likely be receiving the vaccines. They'll be made available. And I say this pretty confidently because the sign of Aquarius is the scientist. It is the vaccine energy. That is where it's coming from. And so when Jupiter and Saturn are there, there's going to be rules about how that's done. It's not going to be available to everybody. But as soon as Jupiter, come mid-January, Jupiter will start to pull away from Saturn. And as Jupiter pulls away from Saturn, it lessens the restrictions. The restrictions don't feel as tightly. So it's good news coming, but again, realizing in our head that there are still rules in place, and there may even be likely lockdowns or different ways that lockdowns look if they're not calling it a lockdown for wherever it is that you live. I know people overseas. I have a lot of YouTube people overseas, and they're already on lockdowns. And yes, the United States will likely be facing one, but each state is sovereign. So each state will do as they please. but we'll see how that happens. We'll see. Anyway, we're going to see. I don't like to get political on here, but I just got to keep it real and give you the energies as I see them. I'm going to give you some good news to walk away with, something that lifts you, something that is beautiful, something that will help you. Something really good is actually Mars. When Mars goes through the Taurian energy, through the sign of Taurus, Taurus energy and Piscean energy, they sextile each other, which means they get along with each other really well. They can assist and help each other, okay? So as Mars moves through Taurus, the thing about Mars in Taurus is Taurus slows Martian energy down, which is good because Mars wants to just go ahead and do and not think. But Taurus tends to be more reserved, okay? But if the bull gets angered, it will lash out and it can be quite vicious, actually. So you want to keep that in mind. This is your third house, okay? And I'm saying this because when we say third house, it's our thoughts. Our thoughts may be a little bit more fighting. We may be a little bit less patient. We may be less patient. Mars, again, is the fighter. So if you have Mars transiting through your third house, you may be apt to be more in a instigating mode, to have an argument with somebody. So keep that in mind for the entire month of January, that Mars will actually send beneficial energy to your ascendant, to your physical body, will help you. It will be a big help for Pisces ascendant. Now, if you're a Pisces sun sign, like a Piscean birthday, somebody said, oh, I was born on such and such day. Well, that means you're a Pisces. That's your sun sign. And if that's your sun sign, this will also help you because Mars will be sending sextile, which means supporting energy to your sun. And your sun is the way you shine. So Mars can actually make you brighter, make you more vibrant. It can actually fuel your light. And that's what the sun is. It's your ability to express, your ability to radiate and shine, your ability to communicate effectively but creatively. And Pisces ascendant, being creative is a beautiful thing. Music and movies, you ooze creativity, Pisces ascendant, and that, or Pisces sun, and it doesn't have to be in that way. It can be in any way, whether it's paints or drawing or writing, singing, whatever that is. Having Taurus energy in the third house would lend to you being able to be very, not just vocal, but possibly musical. So whether you like to hum or play the flute or sing, you know, this is a time when you want to channel that Mars energy, okay? Give Mars an outlet. And because Mars is in the third house, you need an outlet. You need a way to take what's here, right? Mars wants to just say, wants to do, wants to express. Use it, channel it. Put it in paper, put it to music, do something beautiful with it. Find a creative outlet for your Mars energy. Remember, your entire month of January, Mars is supporting your physical body, but it also needs a beautiful angelic outlet. So let Mars fuel your sun. Let Mars shine.